One chance, one dream, one match, one energy, one fight, one aim, one action, one hope, one expert.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to Finals Day here at the Oriez Regional Series 1 Latin America. I'm Zerfer, and joining me, of course, it has to be my friend and co-caster Ted. Ted, mate, it's Finals Day. Finally, we are here. Around 2 weeks it took us to get to this final day. Now it is down to just two, and there can only be one winner.
Yeah, absolutely, Jack. We started it off with 16 teams 2 weeks ago, as you pointed out. GSL groups, 4 groups, 2 teams out of each group qualified for the playoffs. And after a lot of action, after a lot of mad games, a lot of crazy comebacks, a lot of crazy results, and sheer domination from some sides, we're left with just 2 teams. Imperial taking on Fluxo. It's the battle for, I guess, Brazilian domination is the battle for South American Tier 2 domination. $25,000 on the line, as well as some points for the circuit, which will get the winner of this one step closer to actually qualifying for the grand finals of the entire thing, of the entire circuit in a couple months.
Yeah, of course, $25,000 as well for the winner, $15,000 for second place. So you're not going home empty-handed, but both teams are going to want to win this one. Yeah, as you mentioned, those points are going to be very, very important as we get, later down the line, and we'll have a little bit more of a kind of estimation where those teams are going to be at. When we are a few more series in. Of course, this is only the first one, so only time will tell in that regard. But looking towards this game, Ted, and it's really exciting. I mean, we've got Imperial, who are a team that are at the top of the tier 2 space. They're battering down the door, trying to get into tier 1 and trying to actually be in and around the top teams, gatekeeping a lot of the other teams as well in the process, up against the Fluxo side, who have been picture perfect so far in this event.
Yeah, this is the high level against, I don't want to say the low level, but the high level against the team that is just on great form, right? Fluxo are just storming their way into the tier 2 South American scene this year. They've been playing outstandingly well. They haven't played too many best of threes, but they've been getting a lot of wins under their belt. The only team that is yet to drop a map in this entire tournament. They haven't lost a single one. So I guess it's safe to say that when it comes down to Fluxo, the series are usually not close, even though yesterday they were put in a pretty precarious position. But that 5-man lineup on your screen, PKL being the IGL, being the veteran of the team, Zevi, Luca Ozzy, VSM, and Che. Luca Ozzy and Che have been 2 of the best players of the tournament so far. And you're looking at Luca Ozzy and thinking that this is probably to be expected because he has been tormenting that level of competition for the past couple years. Che, on the other side, just a couple months ago, signed up from the Sharks. He had a couple good events, but nothing too significant with that Sharks lineup. But ever since joining Fluxo, he's just become a superstar.
Yeah, he has. And then, you've got the likes of VSM to bring a little bit of experience into the mix. You've got Zevi, which, I was describing yesterday as just the perfect complement in terms of his opping ability to that dynamic duo of Che and of Luca Ozzy, who are so dangerous. And then you've got the brain behind it all in PKL. So Fluxo, they're a great team. I really love watching them play, especially when we got to look at them yesterday in the semi-final versus Sharks. They were still dominating, still running away, but this time, this game, this final, it's not going to be that easy. We could possibly see them lose a map, and we could possibly see them lose a series, because it's against an Imperial side who, yes, they're very familiar with. They've played a lot of times this year alone, not even if we want to go and look at last year, but in CS2 in general, it hasn't been great when they've come up against this Imperial side.
Absolutely not. Imperial might have not been in the best of shapes lately, and by lately I mean the last 1 week, because they did lose in that IM Dallas close qualifier. They didn't pick up a map, losing to both Bestia and Furia. We've seen a couple shaky maps from them so far in the tournament as well, but all in all, Imperial have shown that they are a side that knows how to win, even if they're not on their A game, even if things are not going as well as they should be, maybe, of course, according to their expectations. But you were spot on. They've won their last 5 games against Fluxo. And by 5 games, I mean 5 maps, of course. But their last 5 maps against Fluxo, they've won. They've played a couple BO1s this year. They ended last year with actually a best of 5 final that Imperial ended up winning 3-0, and it wasn't even close. So when you look at it from that perspective, Fluxo are going into this game hot on their heels against arguably one of the best, as you pointed out, gatekeeping teams of the tier 1.5 scene in South America, and trying to see if that momentum is going to be enough to actually get them over a hurdle that they haven't been able to overcome previously.
Yeah, I mean, like, even just looking at the lineup of Imperial, though, they've got tier 1 players in this organization, and that's where they want to be. They want to be winning those qualifiers, and for the most part, you know, they've been getting in and around there. As you mentioned, you know, they were unlucky in that Dallas qualifier, and it wasn't that great, but we have seen them kind of dip a little bit in terms of form. It's not the kind of, you know, blow teams out of the water Imperial that we're kind of used to seeing, so there possibly is chances here for Fluxo maybe to take advantage of that. It does kind of come down to the veto, but you know, we've said this, I believe, Ted, in every Imperial game that we've covered, and it's that you are very rarely going to get a map that Imperial are not going to be, you know, extremely well drilled, extremely comfortable on, and have a ridiculous win percentage on as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, bar Ancient that they just permaban, so we're not going to see that in this game. There's not a lot of maps on which you can catch them off guard. I believe we should be ready to go into the veto in just a couple of moments, but with that being said, there isn't a lot of maps, and a lot of it has to do with the really high win percentage that they have, right? You might try and catch them off guard on a cheeky, I don't know, maybe on Anubis if you're really good at it, but that doesn't really work for Fluxo because it's their permanent ban. So we're going to see Fluxo go for a nuke here. Imperial answer back with a Mirage, and if we go to a decider, it's going to be a Vertigo. All in all, you look at that veto, you might have expected the Mirage pick from Imperial. I feel like the nuke one from Fluxo, though, is where it gets really interesting, because you're giving Imperial the chance to actually start things off on the CT side, on one of the most CT-sided maps in the pool, and it's a map that they usually feel quite comfortable on.
Yeah, but it is a map, bear in mind, that Fluxo picked back in October of 2023, and they beat them. It's the only time these two actually faced off against each other, so on this map. So Fluxo may be thinking, alright, look, it was a long while ago, we beat them on it though, so maybe we can do it again, maybe we can replicate it. But you know how I feel about, you know, going for that nuke pick straight away. I love it being left as a decider. At least you get a, you know, a chance. But when you're looking at a series that you need to win your map pick, and you're giving them, you know, the CT side straight away, things can really fall apart, especially when we look like they've been fairly dominant on Nuketed. I mean, 80% over 15 maps is absolutely, it's an incredible statistic, and that kind of leans into what we were talking about. You're very rarely going to catch them off on any map, so it's an uphill battle. Fluxo have at least picked something that they're comfortable on, that they're confident on, but we need to see them start well on the T side, or I fear if we do go over onto a Mirage where Imperial have beaten them 4 out of 4 times, it could be done in 2.
It could be, but as we pointed out, the circumstances are different, right? If there was a chance for Fluxo to pick up a victory, it would be now. Fluxo so far in the tournament, yes, I guess you could argue that they've been meeting up against teams that you would expect them to beat, but they've been playing prolifically. The best team when it comes down to 5v4s, 4v5s, opening kills, multi-kills. You look at every single statistic in the tournament, Jack. Fluxo is number 1. But when you look at the final game, no one remembers who is the best team statistically. Everyone just remembers who won the entire thing. With that being said, we are ready to kick things off, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 1 of the grand finals of the first Res LATAM series is about to start things off. Pissed around Imperial on the CT side, and Fluxo on the T side already picking up the pace.
Henny bringing out a Zeus in the pistol, what we love to see. Here comes the Rat, Luca Ozzy trying to get on the board early, but decently shuts him down. No way, good with a swing, and Imperial have started solid on this CT side. Che, run into a few bullets there as he tries to get down the vent. Now he's being crunched upon from behind. He realizes the danger that he's in and takes down Vinny as well. All of a sudden, Fluxo have turned this one around, but Che needs to just keep Henny occupied right now, and he's doing a very good job of it as time does tick down. Che needs to try and stay alive if he can, but he can't. VSM, it's all down to him, and well, the steps draw his attention away for just a moment for no way to strike, and Imperial land the first blow.
That was a massive reaction from Imperial there. No way starts things off with a big triple kill, and he's been the standout player for Imperial so far in the tournament, right? I mean, we spent so much time talking about Phelps and the way that he opens up the T sides. Something interesting that we mentioned yesterday. Obviously, a lot of people remember Phelps was a part of that initial team when Fluxo entered CS2 or CSGO back in the day. He was their player for some time, and he was one of the main reasons why Fluxo was actually such an aggressive team and such a fast-paced team, and now he's doing the same to Imperial. But who's been the standout player? It has to be No Way, one of the best T-side players in the entire tournament. And then when you look at the CT side, consistency has always been key for him as well. So nice to see him on a good start. Fluxo, of course, because of that bomb plant, will actually go for the force buy, consisting of 2 Galils, 1 AK, and a double pistol for VSM and PKO, who are going to be opting for that extra util. 1xbet, heavily favoring Imperial to actually become your champions. Looking at it, let's see if Fluxo have anything to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really blame them. Imperial, as you said, you know, they won the last 2 best of ones that they played. They won a best of 5 and then the best of 3 before that. We have to go back to October for the last time the Fluxo won a series against them, and this force buy round, well, it's been picked apart already. Henny outside, Phelps from up secret, and all of a sudden Fluxo are down to 2. Exact same story as the pistol as well, but this one is going to be a lot harder to get back into. Phelps forced into a fight, and that's a lovely double from him. He really is cooking with gas from the get-go.
Yeah, absolutely awful. And you're playing up against the player that you're so familiar with. Obviously, if you're Che, you're not that familiar because you didn't get to play with him. But you look at people like VSM, like PKL, like Luke Ozzy. They know what playing with Phelps feels like, right? So when you're up against him, you need to make him respect you early on. If you let him take those freebies in towards outside, just play up in your face CS, he will do so. And you might feel abused in the server at times. Che will try and make this as expensive as possible, but No Way jumping with the MP9 is going to put an end to it. Imperial win this one fairly cleanly, Vinny being the only casualty, and that was a full investment from Fluxo. You couldn't really dream for a better start right now if you're Imperial on that CT side.
Yeah, I mean, that's Fluxo's chance, right? You know, they get so close in the pistol. They have that force buy round. You need to do some damage. You need to get onto a bomb site. You need to make Imperial work. Not able to do that. Imperial have a great read. Phelps starting down secret just really foiled any plan that the T-side have, and now you'd be very fortunate to get a bomb plant in this scenario. You've got a few upgraded pistols. Maybe let the Deagle search, see if Luca Ozzy can find something towards outside. The rest of the players seem to be grouping up towards ramp. But look at this space being taken by Phelps already. All the information
gotta get
Imperial
accustomed
need.
to that.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing that a whole lot throughout this entire game. And this is I guess, the worst part of playing against such a dynamic outside player like Phelps. I mean, if you want to give an example and you look at the tier 1 scene, it will have to be someone like Nico or Rain on FaZe, right? I mean, when you're playing up against a player that has the confidence and has the mechanical skill to back it up, it's extremely difficult once he gets onto a good start. Of course, Decent, he's going to be the one tested in this round. A lot of pistols on the other side, and a 1-for-1 is great for the T's considering the circumstances.
Oh, look at what he was seen there by Phelps for sure, and that's going to be a free kill for him. And he is the closest player to rotate down towards the B bomb site. Fluxo are still taking their time, so Henny can get into a pretty solid position. And, well, there's going to be no molly for double here, so he can actually peek if he wants to. HE blows open the door. He needs to be so careful. He needs to try and play his life or come away with a kill. And he's gotten that kill at least. Phelps is now here to try and put the finishing touches on the round, and that's exactly what he does. Another triple kill for Phelps. 6 in the last 2 rounds as Imperial get onto 3. And if you're Fluxo Ted, this is where you need to bear some fruits. You need a round, you need it quickly, you need to stop this Imperial train from rolling out of town.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the signs are there that Fluxo might be able to have a good T side, but as you pointed out, even if you continue losing rounds for maybe 1 or 2 more, it's not going to be that dramatical, but at least you got to make Imperial work for them, right? You got to make them close. You got to do the damage, you got to get to a bomb site, get into post plants, just show that you can be competitive with that defensive side of things. Lucas, he's going to take a lot of space down Secret, but guess who's here? Phelps already in position to confirm that nothing's going on. He might get into a fight with Luca Ozzy soon enough, but Decenty once again is going to get tested in towards the ramp by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, you were able to get the kill with the Tech 9s. Let's see if you're going to be able to get it here. Decenty, a little bit awkward. He lets the first 2 out, so he has to pray that he gets at least one of them. And it's only a little bit of tickle damage. It's now Phelps down towards this B bomb side, trying to put up a defense.
Oh.
Vinny's here as well. That's a lovely double. Zevy's low HP. He doesn't want to go for a peek, but Vinny does. He continues to creep forward to try and collect another kill. And Vinny has stopped this round, turned and flipped it on its head. Luca Ozzy, Henny knows about him, but VSM still doing damage on his own.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter, right? They know where the second player is. Henny just heard him make the drop, and they know that the bomb is all alone in towards Hell. So VSM, he can try and make his way towards the A-bomb side, but even with Luca Ozzy picking up those kills, he's trapped. So this is like a 1 versus 1 right now. VSM might try and help out his teammate, but he's not going to be able to spot out Henny, so the Oper should be in with a free kill if they want to play in towards that A-bomb side, but VSM's thinking about it. There's only 20 seconds. A is clear. He can actually commit to that bomb plant. Luca Ozzy's just now going to start making his way up the vent, so they've been able to actually dodge the defense here for Imperial, and Henny has realized that already. Needs to wait for Phelps' rotation. Bomb's going to go down, and Phelps is making no secret of his presence from the vent.
He's been seen, he's been mollied, and well, does he want to come up? And well, the answer to that one is no. Here comes the swing from Luca Ozzy. Henny tagged down to extremely low HP. VSM just trying to hold towards the vent, not going to be blinded by the flash, and that is one of the easiest kills that he will get all series. Henny just about dodging the bullets as he has to get out of there. Imperial, I mean Vinny, it looked like he saved the round, looked like he did all that he needed to do, but Fluxo, they just found the tiniest gap in the defense, and Imperial could not hold on. Finally, Fluxo have at least a round.
Yeah, I think Vinny would have loved to have Phelps with him as he was going for that fight against the bomb planter, right? When he was fighting VSM there. If Phelps was nearby, maybe they get the refrag and the round just ends there. But Luca Ozzy, I'm actually surprised that he was able to come up with something because they knew he was there. They were expecting him, but he's still able to get 1 kill, go back the vent. He was diligent enough not to even risk going through main there. Knows that if he falls down on that B bomb side, that's not really going to stop VSM from getting the bomb plant. There's the replay. Great pickups by VSM and Luca Ozzy. That was a 2 versus 4 that they were able to pull off. It's a nice first on the board. Imperial still have plenty of cash to go forward, and they were able to hold on to that big green, so maybe another one. And speaking of which, we're already 20 seconds deep into this round, and Phelps once again has gone aggressive in towards outside.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is absolutely everywhere right now towards outside and secret, and he's very difficult to get a read on right now. And he could really do some damage here if Fluxo aren't careful. Henny trying to spot anybody out, sees one player over the top of the smoke, just calling, relaying the information to Phelps that there is going to be a fight coming his way, but that's a perfect flashbang from PKL. Phelps cleared out, advantage to Fluxo, and they are just going to walk down silently. Henny doesn't know for sure if they've already gone past, but Vinny is just going to be taking every necessary precaution. Not even going to play the deep angle here, so he's just going to wait for the fight to come to him, just crouched on the stairs, and Vinny really could do some damage, but it is just a kind of case of how many can he get from this spot, if any. How many are going to walk his way? He's got a 1 versus 1 here. PKL is not going to be ready for this. Quick and easy one. He can get away. He now has that info, surely, but the swing out onto the side. Decent, he needs to stop the bomb, and he's done exactly that, but no more. VSM says so, as Henny too far away to do anything, and that missed shot cost him his life. Mag 7 clutch for no way. And he decides to go forward with the USP. This one completely out of the question, it would seem.
Yeah, he was hoping to actually pick up the rifle that was on the left-hand side, but it was just not gonna work. If Henny gets that kill in towards outside, by the way, they still go for it in the 2 versus 2, and it's really competitive. But the moment that the Oper misses the shot, everything was already over. Fluxo posts their second one on the board. And again, I actually like the approach. Even though they were able to deal with Phelps really nicely in towards outside, and they realized they actually have the space once they kill Phelps to go down, because he was usually the first instance of rotation down secret to stop them. So you get that kill, you know you have all the space to work with. Vinny still manages to isolate 1v1s and comes really close to getting a second kill. Denied. 1 for 1. Same with Decent. He was even closer than Vinny was at getting a second. So every single time Imperial actually tried to save this round, they got absolutely denied. We're going to see that on the replay once again. Flash is absolutely perfect there to deal with Phelps. Vinny gets 1. Gets rewarded for the patience. Refrag coming in straight away. Decent with a kill and almost a second. But this is the key factor there. A lot of key fights in this round going in favor of Fluxo. And now you're starting to see some gaps in the defense of Imperial. Money is already in the bin, so they're going to have to, I guess, work their way around that max 7 of no way.
Yeah, not really.
And excuse the pun, I dare to say there's no way he makes that work nicely enough to win them the round.
Yeah, it's not really the weapon that you want to be working around, right? I mean, if you can work around an M4, yeah. If you can work around an op, fine. But a Max 7, I don't think there's going to be people queuing up to pick that one up. I think you might be even better off with
you know
the
what?
pistol.
You go close HUD, you kill one player, you pick their AK up, and then you get 2 more kills with the rifle.
Yeah, I mean, entirely possible. We do have, of course, a little bit of an eco, and I want to pick your brain here. Now, Phelps has already been spotted towards outside, so the aggression plays that he does be going for, that's already been kind of figured out a little bit from Fluxo. Surely there's necessary adjustments now that you don't really go towards outside without a flash to make sure that he's not in that position. And surely Phelps cannot be playing, you know, as up close as he has been in these opening 5 rounds.
Yeah, most of the time, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you are making him respect you a little bit. The thing with Phelps is that he's crazy enough to actually try and work his way around the smoke, so I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough to actually make him respect you in that endeavor, but hey, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. When you're playing up against a player like him, and I think they know that really well, it's not always easy to demand respect, and this playing towards the ramp surely wasn't enough to demand respect, and that's actually allowed No Way to get into a good position. That's not a leveled up game yet. No Way's in a really good angle for at least 1 kill here. And looking at how spread out they are, he might even get 1 and fall back. Oh my god.
Oh, he's caught a perfect timing. Knows they're going ramp. Just needs to call for the rotations to get down B. Decent is going down the vent. Phelps now spotted towards outside. Luca Ozzy's just trying to deal with them. Actually, they're not going B. It's up heaven to A. Phelps just needs to try and stay alive. Surely he's going to be cleared out. No Way does actually come away with 1. And he has picked up an AK. If he wins this fight versus Luca Ozzy, it would have been a different story, but not to be. Still very doable though if Decently is able to find the head of Che, but that's the AK dropped and Henny left alone. Imperial do at least make a good go of this round. But that's all it is. It's a nice attempt, but nothing else.
Yeah, again, you can tell that the potential is there, but Fluxo's individuals have just been really sharp throughout this entire event, right? I mean, yeah, PKO is on a bit of a slow start. He's on 0-6, yet to register his first kill, but in the last couple of games that we've seen from Fluxo, one of the main things that we've underlined and tried to kind of touch upon is the fact that most of the time, you're just going to see that if you give those individuals a chance to win a fight, even if it's not a fair fight, even if it's a 40-60 in favor of the other player, they're still going to be able to win it 9 out of 10 times. And this is something to have in mind if you're Imperial. You're not going to be able to punish them on the back of individual brilliance a lot of the times, because those players are feeling sharp. Those players are feeling comfortable, and they know they can win a lot of their duels right now because of how things have been going. Well, this is a bit of a difference maker here. Henny with a good opening kill. Luca Ozzy gonna fall short in this one, and that's a big one as well. That was the only presence that the T's had towards outside, so now they need to send Zevi back to make sure that there's no shenanigans going on.
Yeah, there's no Phelps up close. Henny now just waiting. He would love to have an AWP in this angle, but he'll have to make use of the M4. Fluxo, They're still looking towards outside. They've finally spotted out Henny and they've taken him down. PKL does finally get on the board, and what a time to do exactly that. You've gotten your team back into this round, and you've got a lot of control outside. Surely you realise or recognise that Febs could be down secret, but you're actually going to go back. You're going to pick up the bomb. Either make your way out A or towards ramp, and it looks like the T's are leaning towards ramp here. There's a massive gap that they can find as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Phelps is the only one that's, well, I guess in a way down the B bomb side because he's in towards secret, but Decent he's completely left that part of the map, and now he's going to start walking back. Needs to be really careful. He's missed the timing completely, and now he's going to spot them out. This should get communicated, but they're not ready for PK out. Great patience gets rewarded, and Phelps is the only one that can do anything about this round. Needs a massive multi-kill, and they look like they've actually heard him. Zevi still posted on the angle. Phelps is going to try and catch a good timing. Nearly does that, but Zevi with a great reaction to deny, and there's just no way Indecency left. Save already being called in, and I wonder if you're Fluxo, do you go for the hunt now? And I feel like the answer is yes. You have the money to afford, I guess, losing 2 more players maybe, and PKO is already on the chase. You know how vital those 2 guns are for Imperial.
Yeah, this is where you drop over the flashbangs to your opper and just say, right, send us in. Let's try and find the rifles here. And actually, there's going to be a molly coming onto D here. He's going to have to follow it back, completely blind. Oh, he's claimed 2. Sevi going to try and take him out of the round. Not going to be able to do so. Oh, but he gets the kill eventually. So awkward there. They nearly lost the AWP, but instead, they lose 2 players and they take everything from Imperial. Started off well with Henny finding the opening. That kill really turned the tide though, and unlucky from Phelps, to be honest. I mean, he's caught a perfect timing there. He's played it superbly, hasn't burned in the Molotov. He's waited, held long enough until they actually gave up on the angle, but just Zevi was too quick. If Zevi doesn't hit that shot, Phelps really just throws a spanner into the works there. But now Imperial...
Yeah, had the potential for a double kill for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But now Imperial, they've got nothing. They've got Phelps on an SMG. That's about the height of it. Fluxo are looking strong on this T side. We're getting a competitive final, what we love to see.
Oh, Phelps gets spotted out. It's a fight that he would have loved to actually get involved with, but MP9, that range, probably not going to work out, so better to stay tucked in. Hope for closer range fights, and once again, Fluxo were considering the possibility of a poke and prod in towards the ramp. As of right now, Imperial once again have a player on top of the boost. They have a double setup. It was a triple one for a couple seconds as Phelps was making his way up, but if they go back towards the ramp, this holds a bit of a risk here, especially if DCT is able to get at least one, but VSM with an instant execution, so surely you clear out the boost now.
Yeah, you're not going to be caught out by that twice, you know, especially after losing a player just a couple of rounds ago. This is going to be 5 in a row for Fluxo, Ted. They're already going to be on fire. And any worries really that we had going into this game of, you know, a slow start for Fluxo, it was looking, you know, 100% likely after the opening 3 rounds, but the response has been absolutely perfect.
Yeah, the thing is, they still have room to work with as well, right? Because when you think about their approach in the first couple rounds, it's mainly been focused in towards outside and ramp and just playing around those two, right? We haven't seen, I don't think we've seen any A-side action, to be fair. I can't really remember. I mean, we had that one late round where VSM went towards the A-bomb side and they had that post plant, right?
Nothing early.
That was a late round, and that wasn't an A round by design. So they still have that in their arsenal. It's still a possibility that Imperial needs to take into consideration. And I feel like it might be a good time to start exploring that option as well, because so far, Phelps, I think in the majority of the buy rounds, has started as a secret player straight away because they've been abusing outside so much. They've shown him that he can't really go aggressive too much as well because he's just going to get flashed off and naded out of the angles. Henny hasn't really been finding too much success. Now you get to see Henny on the AVP once again, though. And one thing I'm actually looking at right now in this series is the fact that Henny needs to show that he is the more experienced one out of the two, right? Because Zevi so far has been having a good game. He's on the T side of Nuke, so you don't really expect him to be on top of the scoreboard, but he still is. This is where Henny needs to step it up. You got to try and help Phelps in finding those opening kills on that CT side.
Oh, I've a funny feeling we might see a spanner in the works in this round, or maybe something towards A. As you said, we haven't seen anything like that. You probably know that Henny's got enough for an AWP now. Do you try and just send something out towards A little bit later on, or do you just keep doing what you're doing right now? Look for an opening pick. Well, there's Henny towards ramp. Che.
That was one of the weirdest shots that Henny has had to hit in his career, by the way. Che just gave him the gluteus peak.
Taking a pain in the ass to a whole new level. That's
yeah,
gonna hurt.
I'm pretty sure MC Hammer would have loved that peak.
Jay not so much, down to 20 HP, but at least he's not out of the round. And I mean, Zevi just posted deep towards Secret here. That's what Phelps has made them do. They are so laser focused on him being in that position right now. But Zevi's caught a glimpse from Silo. Still needs to be cautious. It's a difficult shot to hit, even with the AWP, especially if you're only given really a pixel. 50 seconds left, and Fluxo spent a lot of time just gathering really tiny pieces of the map here.
Yeah, you've been conditioned to it, right? I mean, it's the first time we haven't seen any aggression from the CT side of Imperial and Fluxo. Now we'll have to start making a move. Down Secret goes Luca Ozzy, but this is just exploration. It is looking like an A finish right now. They haven't made a move, but moving in towards that A. Bomb side, Henny using the AVP as a shotgun, good for one, and Vinny was up close for the refrag.
No way in towards the door. Henny, well, Vinny comes back with that AWP. No way's been spotted out. It's a quick and easy kill for Zevi. And actually, if he goes down the vent, he's going to miss both Phelps and Decenty. They realise it though. They're going to hightail it. They're going to try and rush him down here towards the backside. And well, he's been spotted out already. Not going to be able to stick this. And as soon as Fluxo get the flames, they are extinguished by Imperial. Decent hold there, and Fluxo, to be honest, they made the clock really their enemy in that round. It was just way too long they spent towards outside, but as you spoke about, the conditioning, they didn't really have any other option. If they want to take that control, they're gonna have to take their time and be slow about it.
This is where you can spot the experience from the side of Imperial. Not a lot of teams on the back of winning a couple or losing a couple buy rounds on the CT side of Nuke would actually decide to go passive and just hold towards the back. But now they've switched it up. Now this is more Imperial-like and it's more Henny-like. Going aggressive once again. Last time against Che towards the ramp, wasn't able to get that kill. Does he clear out the angle? No, he won't. And Lucas, he's actually going to punish him for it. Henny had a free second kill. If he just clears the angle but overlooks it, being blindsided will cost him his life. It's a 1-for-1 in towards outside, but Luca Ozzy, with Henny's absence, he's trying to take some space, and it might work out really nicely for him right now. There's no one currently having their eyes on that, and just now Decenty's gonna start exploring that as a possibility, but Luca Ozzy's already up close.
VSM is gonna be holding this. It's a nice angle to be holding from as well. Oh, but nade out. That's not going to be able to take him down. But the quick switch to the AK. And Phelps is out of here. Luca Ozzy creeping through that heaven smoke. No way's been spotted. And well, this is a great round from Fluxo. They're going to be back in it once again. They'll extend their lead to 2 unless Decenty can do something about this one. But the M4 spray, messy. And Luca Ozzy will punish it. PKL, the only man to fall for Fluxo. And 6 rounds on the T side, Ted. You'd be darn happy with that going into the 11th round of a grand final. We see Imperial invest in what they can, but it's just going to be pistols once again. Fluxo really have a plan here on Nuke. They're sticking to it, and it's working out.
It's starting to feel really worse for wear for Imperial right now. If you're on the CT side, you realize you've just won 4 rounds, and 3 of them were the first 3 rounds of the half. You won the pistol, you won the anti-force, you won the anti-eco ever since. You've just picked up 1, but the pistols might actually be the key to solving those issues. A nice little lobby crunch, catching the T's off guard, and it's just VSM and Luca Ozzy left. Out of nowhere, they just get hit by the truck. They need to find their way out of there, but no way. Picking up the AK will take down VSM, and it's Luca Ozzy in the clutch.
All else fails, go for a little lobby crunch. Luca Ozzy, what does he want to do? Can't really take the risk to walk through that smoke towards back lobby. So he's going to reposition completely. Knows that there might be just 2 players waiting for him on the other side. Phelps is actually just covering all of outside right now. Oh, and Henny has missed the timing. Luca Ozzy's going to creep down behind him. But Henny's still up close. Just tears him to shreds with the SMG. That's a perfect round for Imperial. They stop Fluxo when it was looking like they were really going to take charge of this first half. Now Imperial have a great opportunity to go into their T side at least level. The perfect buy from both, you feel, except Che on a Galil. But let's look at this once again. And I mean, Fluxo, they were set up. They just lost the fights, unfortunately.
Yeah, they were waiting for it, right? They had so many numbers in towards that lobby area, and they were holding, but just getting Ferrari P, Deagles, MP9s running at you, and that's gonna give wings to Phelps to go for another aggressive play. Shuts down Zev. Luca Ozzy trying to get that refrag, but Phelps holds in strong. Stays up powerful, down to 6 HP, but he's gotten a double kill. That should be enough to get them over the finishing line. This is Imperial trying to get at least 6 rounds on the board on the CT side, which is by itself not perfect, but considering the circumstances, looking at this, I feel like maybe a 7-5, an 8-4 definitely was a possibility as well. So at least being leveled gives you, or leaves you with somewhat of a fighting chance for the second half. Of course, this one is not over just yet. We still have VSM, PKO, and Che that are going to try their absolute best for another 3 versus 5 converted, but Phelps just down one more. Decides to go for the repeat, which was probably unnecessary in that scenario, but still a 4v2 for his teammates.
Flash goes high. Oh, Henny was waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike, and, well, it was a little bit too early. He's going to miss. VSM just toying with Henny right now. Going to smoke him off. But no way up close. Has been great so far, and he's great once again. Stops that play from happening in towards main. 6-6. Yeah, it's a great scoreline considering 8-4 was entirely a possibility for Fluxo, the way that they were going and steamrolling through the mid and late part of that half. And they can really thank Phelps for it. 3 kills in that round, and 2 of them on extremely low HP. Eventually gets taken down, but I mean, Fluxo just weren't really able to get into their groove at all towards outside without having to consider where Phelps was going to pop his head up.
Yeah, absolutely. Even in this previous round, that was the perfect example. He gets the double from main, instantly goes down the vent and goes into our secret for another peek. But with that being said, move into the second half of action. Fluxo now on the CT side, and Imperial are going to be trying to pick up the slack on the back of a second pistol round in the series here.
Flash is going to be good. Blinds for a moment, but Fluxo, they are going to hold on to control of outside. It's ramp they need to be worried about, though. Luca Ozzy fast in the flank. Vinny taken out of the sky. And Fluxo now looking to really push on and plow through this second half. A good start. You'll take the pistol. Imperial don't even get a bomb plant either, so if they want to go for a force, it is a massive risk. They don't have the luxury that Fluxo did after losing the pistol in the first.
Yeah, you're up against a really high mountain right now if you're Imperial. That pistol round has so much weight to it. The fact that Fluxo is going to be able to build up the money as well, get up to 8 rounds. We spend a lot of time talking about the fact that Fluxo, even though they've shown some good form, they've won 4 out of the only 6 best of 3s they've played so far this year. They are a team that is yet to qualify for something big, right? Everyone else, we were having that conversation with Sharks as well, at least qualifying for EPL. If you're talking about Imperial, they've qualified for pretty much everything. And that's the first use for the grand final. Thank you for interrupting my point, Phelps. But yeah, as I was saying, before Phelps interrupted, Fluxo are yet to actually win anything this year or qualify for a big event. So A game like this would mean a whole lot, even if some of the rounds are complete carnage like this one.
It's a little bit
Back
easier
to the
now.
wilderness.
Drop the bomb towards outside. Phelps tries to just step on the gas and yeah, just trying to cause a little bit of havoc.
So this is what Elmer Fudd felt like.
Well, the madness is over for now. We think, anyway. It could just be an absolute mental gun round out here from Imperial. You would like to see them take this one in terms of competitiveness. We get to see, of course, perfect.
Bro.
If Phelps waited long enough, we could have actually seen. I would think we're yet to see. Well, I'm yet to see anyway. A double Zeus in a competitive game, like from the same Zeus.
That would just be a Guinness World Record for the most harsh BM in the world. But with that being said, back to the gun rounds we go, and PKL goes aggressive and towards outside. He's got the support of Zevi, but so far it hasn't really worked out, and Zevi needs to be careful. There is a big chance he doesn't get out of there alive. After losing his captain, still manages nearly a second, so good effort, but Phelps shuts him down. And a man advantage going in favor of Imperial. First buy round, a lot of pace. And already finding a lot of success on that D side. Imperial, one after the other, down they go. It is just VSM left, and MP7 had a couple of big rounds yesterday with that gun, but I'm not sure if he's going to be anticipating those two players coming in from T-spawn, even if he gets that kill onto Decent T.
Oh, they've passed each other in the door.
Yeah, VSM's seen the gun barrel. Decent T has no clue what's just happened, but I believe he's going to be holding for it regardless, and VSM's just good for the one. Vinny was up close, refrag confirmed, 3 survive. Imperial onto a great start here in the second half.
Yeah, you win that gun round really clean.
I mean,
to be
I
honest.
say great. They just won one round, but it's better to win the first buy rather than, you know, letting Fluxo get a couple consecutive ones on the board.
Yeah, that's a little bit mad from PKL, to be honest. And Zevi just continuing to fight towards outside, to literally just fight to his death, really. I was hoping maybe you could see him try and get in towards Secret, try and, you know, get away from that one, but maybe nervous that they were going to be holding for him. This time Zevi will start down as Imperial try and apply the pressure towards outside. PKL down to just a deagle this time. Phelps, so he's been spotted there. He goes, he needs to be ready. Nade open the smoke, and PKL look for a little bit more with his hand cannon, but it's not going to happen. Still, the real danger man for this round is Zevi. Zevi can make his way up Secret, and if Imperial aren't careful, he might catch a timing, but he's just tucked right now, waiting to see if anybody's going to walk down on top of him.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go for that fight. He realizes how big of a risk it is, but he realizes how big of a risk it is to just stay down there and let the T's go towards the A-bomb side and not help out with the M4. Now, thankfully, they've actually made their way into our Secret, and Zevi's going to get a freebie onto No Way. Vinny, not really in a position to even attempt that refrag, but Henny has crossed, and oh, that's a nasty shot onto VSM.
Vinny's caught Zevi trying to creep his way up Secret. This one for Fluxo was looking good. Now it's down to just an SMG on Luca Ozzy, who could catch decently, making his way down the ladder, but drops off it and still manages to control his gun enough to correct his aim. Che, it's all down to him. He finds one, but the refrag from Henny was just perfect. Spacing was great, and well, there's absolutely no space between the two teams now. We're leveled 8-8. And Fluxo, they go for a tactical timeout, but they won't be discussing all that much, Ted, because they have literally nothing in terms of economic stature moving into this round. You're really just having a little bit of a discussion of what you want to do the next time you have a buy, and hope maybe you can pull off some Zeus plays.
Yeah, I mean, if we've seen one thing about Imperial, and this is something I actually wanted to discuss before the start of this game as well, the fact that we know that usually it is Phelps to be the hard entry in most of his teams, right? But in this event specifically, and this is in contrast with all the other competitions that Imperial have played so far this year, Vinny has actually leveled himself up in percentages when it comes down to attempting opening kills. So I feel like you're trying, if you're Imperial, you're trying to show that your T side can be a bit more protean, if that makes any sense, right? You're showing that you can switch things up, trying to enable Phelps for some mid-round aggression, for some multi kills, and letting Vinny join in as well. And he's been posting some alright numbers as well. It's a good thing to spot out. Obviously, not too much to mention when it comes down to a round like this. Unless Vinny goes down to the pistol instantly, but it's just not going to happen. And they've seen Luke Ozzy. This should be 9 on the board for Imperial. But going back to the point, both those teams, I feel like the thing that they've impressed with the most so far in the tournament, it has to be their T sides, right? Fluxo, with the fact that they're not really relying too much on just pure pace, which of course they're comfortable with, but it's not just that. You can see that they have some layers. Mid-rounding has been really good. Che in the clutch has been prolific. Obviously, we didn't get to see that too much because there weren't a lot of clutches that needed to be won by him in the first half, to be fair, for them to have a good T side. And then on the other side, we have Imperial, who have been switching things up with Vinny and Phelps. And of course, No Way has been one of the best T-side players in the tournament, currently number 2, I believe, before the start of this series. It is just a game of T-sides in the end of the day. South American CS, man. What did we expect?
Yeah, that's true. That's maybe on us. Nah, in all seriousness though, Imperial have put themselves in a great spot. They've kept this game competitive as well. It really does come down to Fluxo. You're gonna have to rely on, you know, the fantastic individuals that they have. You're looking at Luca Ozzy, you're looking at Che. Zevi, although he's not on an AWP, you're looking at him as well. Extremely important parts and pieces of the puzzle for Fluxo.
Was that a failed smoke? I think that's a failed smoke. That's not a Molotov to fail the lineup. That was a straight up failed smoke, I believe. Might have been a Molotov as well, didn't see.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I didn't quite catch it myself. I know for certain there was no smoke for second anyway. So you cannot really cross if you're No Way. You're kind of stuck back red. He's happy enough to just sit there for the moment. The rest of Imperial are grouping up. This looks like an A hit, Ted.
Yeah, the bigger issue is that the CTs are familiar with that, right? They know no one crossed into our secret, so they will have all their numbers in towards the A bomb site. Surely Imperial don't just send it out. That should be a fake. That should be a contact play towards the B bomb site for sure.
Yeah, but it's towards ramp, and you've got two players here. You've got Zevi and you've got VSM. VSM tries to stop one, now Zevi long range, and well, they've just torn them apart. Flux, so No Way eventually will move, and he's got a timing down secret, but it's worth absolutely nothing right now because the bomb can't really get to him. He can't get down. No Way needs to fight, and he wins the first one at least. But needs a little bit more. 35 seconds, not a lot of time. And Luca Ozzy happy to play for the information, but he'd love the kill as well. And he's got it. And he falls. Fluxo hold.
9 on the board. Only 1 going down. And that was all because of the vision that they had towards outside, right? Imperial, even though they were aware of the fact that the CTs know what's going on, right? If you have that wall of smokes and the CTs have no official confirmation on the amount of players that are down secret, then the A fake, go into a ramp contact, that could work out wonders. The thing that actually made it stand out for me here, I feel like they just didn't change what the original plan was because of that fact that the CTs had the information, right? They just didn't bother changing, but yeah, didn't work out in the end. It was a great defense from Fluxo. We're leveled up once again, and once again in towards outside we go. PK actually going into a fight with an AVP with just the M4 in his hands, but Henny with a missed shot here is going to give the enemy captain another shot at just doing something in this round, staying alive. Phelps getting into a bit of a fight as well, but no one going down yet. Zevi on the other side, a lot of damage being done through the smokes, and PKL finally shuts down Phelps.
You know there's at least one more person here as well, but with your Fluxo you're going to be happy. You've got a man advantage and you don't need to really play as aggressive. You just need to make sure that you have the information on who's crossing, and when you get that kill you can probably make a gamble that there's nobody down behind it. Henny gonna try and take point. That flash doesn't go deep enough. And Henny with the AWP begins to creep his way across, looking for the Heaven player who's gonna drop out. And actually, Zevi's gonna just look for a fight, takes it, wins it, no ways down. They know the op is still there as well. And Imperial, they're left scrambling in a round like this. They've got 35 seconds to get onto either site. But how are you gonna do that?
That has to be a safe call. You
There's
gotta
no
save
chance.
it.
Yeah, there's no chance you get anywhere near a bomb site. The bomb's been spotted towards back of outside, so PKL knows that they have this round in the bag. They just need to not throw away their lives for free. And even with that kill, it's done.
Yeah, absolutely. You just relied, the moment that the first kill doesn't go your way, you just relied on Henny to get into position and find something for you towards outside with the AVP, right? He had a couple chances, but I believe, obviously we didn't see any of those shots from his POV. But Henny not being able to find anything with the AVP, it felt like just too much relied on that factor. And the moment that it didn't go his way, Fluxo were able to take it over the line. Again, without really being in a necessity to get into too many fights. Just winning 2 gunfights without the AVP. Now Xavi's going to be put on the big green. He's been having a good game so far, 19 and 12. He's on top of the server. And we're yet to see him on the big green on the CT side. This is his first. That could be where Fluxo actually pull off ahead and get closer to closing out their map pick. Of course, Imperial still with plenty of cash to reinvest, but this is the final one, especially if they don't get a bomb plan out of it.
Yeah, Zevi not going to be seen on this deep angle just yet by Henny. But once that util round's in, Zevi might try and just creep his way out. And maybe that's what Henny's waiting for. In fact, Zevi just misses that shot as Phelps tries to take a lot of space. PKL's got a little bit of a gap to work with. Whether Phelps knows this or not, that could be a big problem, and he doesn't. He has no idea. PKL gets one for free. And Henny, he's not going to be in a position to trade at all. If Imperial head out this door, they are going right into the jaws of Che, who's in a perfect position to spray down absolutely everybody, but repositions here once again, and Henny finds PKL at least. We're back into a 4 versus 4. Door smoked once again, so Imperial continue to be delayed, but it doesn't look like they're switching anything up here, Ted.
No, but this is good, right? It makes Zevi get occupied in towards outside, made the Ram player rotate down the B-bomb side, and that's going to make Che feel a lot more uncomfortable towards A, so he's going to go looking, and they should be ready for a play like this one. Henny, is he going to be holding? Caught on no timing. Che gets the first kill. Decent E, the one that needs to find a refrac, and he does, but Zevi's going to drop Vinny in the meantime. Rotation's coming up, but they're actually going down the vent. They've rotated down the B-bomb side. VSM's already here. There's only 10 seconds. They're not going to be ready for the elevated angle. VSM shuts down, no way. And that should be the end of the round. It's just Decent He left. 5 seconds on the clock. A 1 versus 3. And he's just trying to stay alive at this point. Gonna get the kill onto Luca. Also, that will grant him his life going forward. But Fluxo up on 11.
Oh, once again, Fluxo, they just work off the entry that they find early on. PKL doing a great job. Just knows that there's a little bit of a gap in the smoke that he can abuse, and Phelps never seen it coming. That's the opening frag, and then they're set up a lovely little bit of an adjustment there, Ted. Just realizing, all right, they can come through main, they can come outdoor, they can come out. Oh, let's take the fight to them. Let's walk in and try and see if we can see what's going on, catch a time and get some information. They double push in towards the lobby, and that makes all the difference. They, of course, give them a passage down towards B, but they're happy enough to do that, right? Because VSM is already down on the site.
Yeah. Some great cohesion being shown on the CT side for Fluxo. A tactical timeout for Imperial, though. Of course, Imperial having a true legend of the Brazilian scene in Zach as the coach. The coach of that Immortals team that played in the Krakow Major Finals in 2017. A team of which Henny was a part of as well. And moving forward, Imperial. Just 2 flashes for Henny that are going to be thrown in towards the A-bomb side, and an AK for Decent that you're hoping he's going to be able to put to good use, and he's able to find 1. But the refrags are good enough. And with that being said, it's just the pistols left. AK in a non-recoverable position as well, Jack. This is not looking pretty for Imperial. This is looking like 12 Fluxo.
Phelps missed his chance to collect the kill, and yeah, Henny was mollied out. He can't go forward. It's not looking pretty at all for Imperial. They've kept it competitive throughout this game so far, but this is 12 for sure. And there's still chances. It's not completely over. It's only 3 rounds that they need to win in a row. But Fluxo, they have looked great on this CT side. Their map pick going exactly how they would have wanted. And he just continues to do a little bit of damage here, which could be a problem. If he finds another kill, this really will hurt the money of the CTs. VSM making his way up heaven. And although it's not a favourable fight for Henny, he could definitely win it. Never mind, not looking the right way.
He could have. He could have. In another universe, he could pull this one off. But yeah, I mean, one more kill would have been alright. The thing is, for Imperial, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You were able to pick up 3 rounds at the start of the half after losing the pistol in the anti-eco. But now you've lost 4 in a row, and this is Fluxo with 3 consecutive map points on Nuke. And all in all, I feel like you can tell that Fluxo have prepared really nicely for this. You can classify that as a fairly convincing and comfortable Nuke, all in all, if they're able to close it out without getting into OT. And look at that from Luka Ozzy. He's gonna go look at, oh, the audacity.
No.
They haven't spotted him. They have no idea. Luka Ozzy's in for more than 1 kill, and the refrag needs to come in. Decent, he needs to win that fight for sure. Luka Ozzy even wanted to stay for that 2nd kill, but finally gets punished.
They've lost lobby though. A minute and 25 and they've lost lobby. They have to give it up. The smoke's absolutely everywhere. You cannot go back in. Oh, this is such a problem for Imperial, and I love that call from Fluxo. It's absolutely insane. Luka Ozzy finds the perfect kill onto Vinny, and he's going to have to try and orchestrate his team now from beyond the grave.
That's so difficult. Phelps is the only one that's not involved in that lobby endeavor right now. And even with that Molotov, this is actually going to force Jay into a fight. That's great from Decent. But Zevi, posted on the angle, gets 1. Needs to be careful. He's going to just keep on moving forward. And that's going to be a free kill for Henny. Zevi getting a little bit ahead of himself. VSM is there with the Molotov, but now they need to be wary of Phelps. He hasn't really been able to activate yet. PKL, this is an awful angle to be holding that late into the round. VSM spotted out in a whole lot of trouble, and he needs to go huge. They know exactly where he is. He's got a flash. They're going to flash him as well, just dancing around the bomb site, trying to play his life. There's so many things happening in the same time in the server, and that could have been the bomb being dropped in towards the ramp from PKL, but Henny still wins the fight. It's complete carnage in the server in round number 22, but it goes in favor of Imperial, and now they need 2 more if they want to force OT.
That just seemed a little bit to me like them wanting to get this one over and done with as quickly as possible. I mean, a 4v4, you get it down into, you know, a 4 versus 3. Once Sevi finds that kill, he over-aggresses there for absolutely no reason. Needs to just fall back and play from the side there, for sure. Such a risk going back in to look for that fight. And now you're...
Scare money don't make money, Jack.
Yeah, but now your money is scarce. That's the problem. You've been punished massively here.
It's fine. They still have 1 more buy. And the pistols in this one. And the Nova and Che. This is not a gun to overlook. But yeah, in all seriousness, Fluxo wanting to end things a bit prematurely, and that might cost them, especially against a team like Imperial. The A play gonna come in any moment now. Nade's raining in. Che is not gonna get phased by it. He still has the Nova in there. Yet to spot him out. He's gonna get mollied out of position though, and this is great protocols right now. Just making sure that they have all their fundamentals covered. And Luka Ozzy, I read the try, I read the attempt to actually go for a knife like this, but you're not gonna get given any chances to do that. Not in this round, that is. That's Imperial up to 11, Jack. And if you're a Fluxo, do you start sweating right now? You had a great chance to close things out in the previous one. You missed it. Now you had no money and you were down to the pistols. On paper, you just had 2 buys to do it, but a 12-9 lead about to evaporate.
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking great. I mean, you've given Imperial a chance back into this game. This one, on paper, should have been done. You had your chance to close it out. You get aggressive, you find that opening kill, you go 1 for 1, you take all that lobby control. You just kind of stick around a little bit too long, and that's kind of what cost you. Now, don't get me wrong, Fluxo can still close it out here, and it's still going to be a fantastic map. They're going to take their pick. But if it goes the other way, Imperial, they love to punish teams in overtime.
Yeah, that's the money round. This is where you need to put Imperial down, otherwise you could be going into ulti, and they've been great in overtime so far. I mean, bar that solid one on Mirage, obviously, that all of us remember, but other than that, Imperial has been a team for comebacks. And a team that knows how to punish uncertainty. That's what you get for all the experience on their side, for all the sheer firepower. And all those players that have been on the scene for so many years. And I think they're calling the same round that they wanted to do 2 rounds ago when Luke Ozzy disturbed it with his lobby aggression. A lot of nades being lined up for the A-bomb side. Phelps once again all alone and towards outside. But Fluxo not giving them anything to work with this time around. Although Luke Ozzy's burning and he's down to 30 HP somehow.
Yeah, that's not good. That is not good. Zevi's just going to give up outside here. They're going to play from the sites. They're ready for an A play. They're going to be ready for a ramp hit. And that's all that's going to happen right now. Fluxo have the read. As simple as that. They have the read, but do they have enough now to stop this hit from coming through? Che already falls. Luca Ozzy down. They need to find some kills, and they need to find them now, but they're not happening. Zevi out from the heaven, and he is dropped as soon as he falls. BSM, good in the clutch, but is he this good? A 1 versus 4 to get it done in regulation, or else first map is going to overtime, and Vinny's holding for it. Well, first kill, how about a second? Lots of damage, but it's not going to happen. Decent, he stops him. And 12-12, Fluxo, are they going to rue that chance? Are they going to rue the opportunity that they did not take to close out their map pick? Because Imperial come back.
Oh, and what a way for them to come back as well. What a moment for Phelps to step it up. A massive double opening from Phelps. We did mention that they've been switching things up with Vinny helping him out with the early endeavors, but you better believe in a round like this one where it matters so much to find those opening kills, Phelps is just going to be running in first. A big triple for the veteran, a double for Decent. The Imperial just catch them off guard with that A play. Even though Fluxo had the setup, Imperial just cleared it out perfectly. No chance given. 12-12. We're going to overtime on the first map in the grand finals. And it's pressure on for Fluxo right now. This is your map pick. You had a 12-9 lead in regulation that you weren't able to convert. And for the side of Imperial, things are looking a lot better. You did have a couple off rounds in that second half, but you're able to win them when it matters the most. And if you get 1, God forbid, 2 rounds on that T side, then Fluxo are going to be in a whole lot of trouble after the switch.
And Henny's already found it open, and Zevi's down. Oh, that's a big problem. Henny has been finding impact. He's struggled a little bit in this event, but he's not looking like it at all. He's looking like the Henny of old recently, especially when we look back at that semi-final with the important frags he's gotten. As right now, Imperial, what are they going to do with their man advantage? They're grouping up towards ramp here. VSM is alone. He's still got no fast rotation. He's not going to be cleared for the first, but the refrag is more than enough for Imperial to be happy with. They've got all that control towards ramp. Luca Ozzy hightailing it down towards the B bomb site. They might not be expecting the AWP, but on the jiggle, it's been spotted.
Yeah, he doesn't feel comfortable going for the repeat right now. He knows that Henny's on the other side and he could be holding. Luke Ozzy's going to try and reposition in towards control. Do they spot him out? Yes, they do, and it's an extremely tough shot to hit, even if you're a main oper, which he isn't in that scenario. The B-bomb side under control. Luke Ozzy's going to try and open the doors, but there is a smoke right in front of him. Bomb's going to get planted, and it's not like they figured out the entire equation yet. Che is waiting for Phelps, but this is just a game of patience, and Phelps has no reason to move. His teammates are not being troubled by that retake whatsoever. Yeah, that should be a safe.
he doesn't need to go, right, until at least one person dies, and then he gets a little bit antsy. But yeah, this is a save. It has to be. You cannot go for this. Imperial are going to be absolutely delighted. They're going to take the lead here. And, well, Fluxo, how do you make the adjustment now? I mean, Zevi punished for going for that main peak. Henny finds the opening. You get it wrong, leaving VSM completely alone. There was no rotation player to be there. And a 1-for-1 just wasn't going to be enough to stop them. A great call from Vinny, all in all.
Yeah. Henny's resurgence into this event has been one of the main topics, I think. Depends on how he does on map number 2, obviously, but so far Nuke, I feel like he's done his part, especially when he's been needed the most. And yesterday in that semi-final game, as you pointed out, he didn't have the best of series for his standards, but when it did matter the most, and the most important rounds against Bestia, especially on that second and third map, he was just dominating the server, dominating the action. And look at him go once again. Henny gonna get posted on the angle, try and cover for his teammates to get closer, and VSM needs to be extremely careful with this one.
Yeah, he burns in that ramp molly, so that's going to give away his position for sure. Decent D already gone down. PKL perfect with the spam through the smoke towards door, and Vinny still needs to be very careful about this. He gets tagged up by the nade. Luca Ozzy is still just waiting for somebody to creep their head out the door. Knows Vinny's there. And this is just about, is Vinny going to be ready for this? But this deep of an angle, oh, it's going to be tough to clear out. Not going to be able to hit his head. Oh, but it's a great jiggle, however. Mouse 1 just being held down. The same for Che. Imperial do manage to get one in their favour, but a 2 versus 4. Henny with the AWP, he's been spotted. That was the opportunity. If he finds that kill, there's maybe a little bit of space to take towards the ramp, but not now. They just keep putting Util down towards the door. Is there a way back into this round for Imperial? It's not looking likely. And if so, Phelps has to do it alone. Luca Ozzy's waiting for somebody to drop down the vent. But you still attempt this. You still go for this. And A, right now, is quite weak. Che, gun barrel, not spotted. I believe it might have been just there, but Phelps is still very, very cautious about what angles he clears. Henny dropped in the hut, and Fluxo do hold on. They level this game up rather convincingly. They make sure that they do not fall too far behind, the most important thing.
Yeah, big kill from Che. If he goes down there, there is a world where Henny just peeks out of hut and actually holds on to heaven and gets that following up kill. It wasn't an easy round to get over the line, but they do make it look quite comfortable in the end. There's the replay. It's nice to see Che get activated. As we pointed out, he's the clutch maestro of Fluxo and has been for the last couple months. Phelps once again putting up the gas in towards outside. They're not going to spot him out. PKO gonna nade the smoke. He doesn't actually pry open the smoke, so he's not getting the information that he was after there. They have no idea if a player has crossed down and if it's just one or multiple. But if Phelps goes down, surely you can make an educated guess. But Henny with a good refrag, so at least it's a 1-for-1 for the information.
Yeah, and I mean, Phelps was low anyway, so you'll take that trade every day of the week. Every day of the week, especially because Decently has just dropped VSM. And once again, I mean, the rotations are nowhere near. Oh, but Henny falls. The tag isn't going to be enough. PKL is going to get an upgrade, and Vinny's going to spot him go all the way back with that AWP. They've already crossed now. They can get down secret. They can just tell Decenty to go. They know he's towards the red box. Here comes the peak, but it's slow. Decenty right into that AWP, and I'm not sure. I mean, Vinny seen him go back to red box.
Yeah, they thought he was holding towards outside. They didn't think he'd be holding the ram there. So this is just Decenty trying to capitalize on a good timing and catch PKO off guard, or catch him as he's trying to get a bit more comfortable on an uncomfortable for him angle. But Vinny in no way crossing down the B bomb site. Have a 2 versus 1. The question here is, where is Che, and are they going to be able to find him quickly enough? He's on top of the rafters right now. Luke Ozzy still coming in from the ramp. He can set up the bait. They're not they're not ready for Che. This is going to be the kill. It should be the round. It's just 10 seconds. Finny in a pretty much unwinnable clutch at this point. Just turning around, finding his way through the smoke, trying to get the fights, gets a really good kill onto Luca Ozzy, but that's going to be about it. Fluxo get 14 in the end of that first half of OT number 1 on Nuke.
Oh, Imperial, they had everything in place there. I mean, they get the refrag, they get the kill towards ramp. Just nervous maybe about going down secret. Decent, he tries to creep on PKL, man. I just don't understand that peak though, because I understand what you're saying with the, you know, you don't expect him to be holding you there. He's maybe holding towards outside, but there wasn't even a jiggle there, because there is a possibility that he just turns around and holds hell, because you're after getting the kill on the ramp player. So there
also,
is...
they didn't know that PKO had picked up the AVP. They didn't have an official confirmation on it. So yeah, this is probably why he's just going for the P, because as much as they know, I think it was confirmed in damage as well. He knows there's a low HP player towards outside with a rifle that he might be able to catch on the timing. And he probably will catch on the timing. So I guess it does make a little bit of sense. From our perspective, it might look a little bit silly. But hey, he probably had his reasons. And he's been having a good game so far, Decent. So we can let him off the hook with this one.
He has been having a great game, and that entry just unable to capitalize. If you're Imperial, you're going to be just a little bit annoyed about that one. Yeah. For sure. If you're Fluxo, you're going to be delighted. Now, you see Luca Ozzy holding towards bottom silo, just seeing if anybody is going to be making their way forward. I say anybody, if Phelps is going to be close. Phelps in a passive position, watching the main walk, the nades, the mollies, everything is going to rain on over right now for the CTs to try and stop them going down secret. I mean, yeah, Luke Ozzy's making so much noise. They're going to double up ramp here. Imperial have the correct read. They can stop this in its tracks.
Henny going for the P. Golb holding on the other side, but the angle wasn't deep enough. And Decent, he will activate the moment that Diop strikes down the first one. And now Zevi needs to pick into this one. That's actually quite a quick shot there from Zevi, but it's just the attack, not the kill. And Henny, he can just hide in towards the back of the box for ages. Zevi has a Molotov, but it's so exposed to actually throw it if he wants to. And Henny's just playing his life right now. They know where he is, so eventually they might take him off the angle, but Decent, he's repositioned. This is an awful angle to be playing up against, and he's been so solid. He's on to 25 kills. Zevi finally gets that refrag, but there's not enough time, simply. Imperial will level things up. Decent with another big multi-kill. Putting on an MVP-esque performance and make that 26, as he even takes Zevi off of that AVP. Of course, the kill didn't come after time, so Zevi's gonna have plenty of money going forward. But Imperial level things up. Now they've won both opening rounds of respectively either one of the halves. Question is, can they close it out on the CT?
Again, great read. That's once again that Fluxo have tried to go for that play towards the ramp, and Imperial have their rotation player there, which is something that Fluxo haven't been able to do. I mean, both times that Imperial have hit towards the ramp, VSM was completely alone. He was completely isolated. Mostly due to the fact that they had already found a kill towards outside before they made that ramp play. But Imperial now just need 2 more solid rounds. Who's going to get onto 15 first head though? That's the question. Fluxo weren't too shabby on their T side themselves, but it's a whole other ball game when we're thinking about T sides and OT. It's not like you've got eco rounds to face off against. Everybody has the guns up on either side. Luca Ozzy looking to maybe try and find some space towards the outside of the map. No smokes thrown from the T's just yet, so he does have to be slightly cautious about his approach. And they're going for a pretty similar round once again, our Fluxo. And this time it's just Decenty alone. He doesn't have the support of Henny. Doesn't have the support of Phelps. VSM makes his way out decent. He finds one. Flash blinds him momentarily. Phelps needs to do a little bit, but can't do anything at all. Fluxo have all this control, and No Way already looking to flank behind him, but he's being so patient. But Jay's reading correctly into this.
Yeah, he's reading correctly into this, but are you reading into the fact that No Way is just going to hold the line? And this is so intelligent, because the bomb has not made its way down to B bomb side. It hasn't made its way towards heaven. No Way realizes how important it is for him to just stay alive. I'm not sure if you're Chain, you clear this one out. He's going to jiggle it, and it's a perfect one. That's going to bait him into the AVP. Henny, good for one, needs to get the quick scope, but misses. Che with the punish, and Vinny needs to clutch it up, and he was already down that B bomb side, needs to go up the vent. It's a quick risk, he's been spotted out. Lucas, he's not gonna let him off the ladder. It's an instant headshot, 15 Fluxo, another map point, but this time is on the T side.
Can they get it done this time? Already. Struggle to do exactly that. This is just great from Che. If he goes down here, I mean, that's really the round up in the air. Imperial feel like they're in control, and even if Henny hits that second shot as well, Fluxo are left scrambling to get the grips on the bomb and the round with it. Henny towards the ramp, looking through the fire and flames. How about the boost here this time? Lands the leg. Molly down just to make sure he's not going to be pushed, and he knows he hits heavy for sure. That's going to be a little bit of confirmed damage. Fluxo, their cheeky idea of how to get an early pick hasn't gone correctly.
It's actually surprising that Henny's the one landing the tag there, right? It's not Zevi on the elevated angle to tag him down. It was Henny that surprised Zevi with how close he was playing with the AVP. Decent E this time around is not Phelps into our secret, and I believe this is the first time for Decent E to get into that position. He's gonna get flashed off the angle, hearing the steps now. This is a really uncomfortable position to find yourself in, and he's gonna try and fall back. Didn't spot the feet, now he spotted the steps, or he's heard the steps actually, but a deployed Molotov to slow them down. He's currently unaware of the amount of players on the other side of this, but he's heard at least a couple running towards him.
Oh, Phelps, that's amazing. What a headshot to Zevi.
It's crazy that he's even thinking about going for that peak, by the way, because he knows they're not pushing down secret, and there is a realistic chance that an AVP is going to get posted on the angle. He still rips his head clean off the shoulders.
Yeah, and he gets the information on PKL as well there. He sees one player at least go towards outside, but it's a false sense. They're rotating away. They're rotating away from B-Ted. Fluxo, they're just going to get down and out on the site. Decently now realising his mistake. Surely you just sit and wait, but no, Decently tries to get up close and he's going to fall. PKL now watching the rotations. Phelps is down. Imperial, they had everything under lock and key and it's all falling apart. Fluxo have found a massive gap. Vinny and No Way, they need to clutch up to survive on this map, but it's just like everything else. It's all falling down and Vinny's been spotted out. He's surrounded by two and Luke knows he's going to drop him. Miscommunication from Imperial there costs them in the most vital round of the series so far as Fluxo close out their map pick.
It's absolute heartbreak for Imperial, man. They played a great nuke, were able to come back. They were down 9-12 in regulation. It had to be over in the first 24 rounds, but it didn't end up being over. They forced an overtime. They were so close to forcing another one, but in the end of the day, it is Fluxo to keep on track with their win streak. Yet to drop a map in the tournament. This one was hella close to actually going against them, but still able to come off on top. And with that being said, Fluxo are just one away now from lifting the trophy. But with how competitive of a nuke we got, can we really write Imperial off going into their map pick?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, look, Imperial, they've dominated on Mirage, and especially against Fluxo, they haven't actually lost it to them, you know, in the last few months. So Imperial, they're going to be annoyed that they weren't able to get it done, at least force another overtime there. But you know, these things happen. They have to make sure they come back and come back strong on Mirage. And ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you will join us after the break as we will see if they are able to do so, or will Fluxo be crowned champions on map number 2. Stay tuned.
One chance. One dream. One match. One energy. One fight. One aim. One action. One hope. One expert.
is the fact that they still played an incredibly solid game of CS, and if it wasn't for them just being a bit maybe impatient in the way that they wanted to close out that nuke, it could have been a 13-9 victory, and we would have been actually I feel like speaking in a different way going into the second map if it was a comfortable 13-9. Now, the fact that they were able to actually hold their own, stay composed in overtime, get it over the finishing line was a really good sign for Fluxo. And as you said, one misread for Imperial, but it is what it is. I mean, it is a grand final. Those are the two best teams in the tournament so far. One misread in the worst possible moment will equal you losing a map and potentially losing the tournament and losing the game itself. So Fluxo going forward, they've played one Mirage so far in the tournament, and they won that against 9Z. Question stands, can they do it again? Individuals have been playing great. They will need some heavy hitters on this map. Starting things off on the CT side, and a really aggressive setup in that pistol round.
You want to take the fight to Imperial, and why not? They've found the opening 2 kills. VSM needs to get back to safety if he can, and he is now behind default, but not very safe behind it. Decently with the peek from Palace, no problem. As we're down to a 3 versus 3, bomb yet to go down. Vinny not comfortable enough to get a plant here. As Che and PKL, they will set up in a crossfire. Vinny is going to get close to the smoke. They want to clear out CT. There's the bomb down, and if Che drops this kill, this is massive. But it's a 1 versus 2 for Henny on the cards, and he has no idea where Luca Ozzy is coming from. Over towards the ramp. Oh, Henny reading into it. Never mind. And well, Luca Ozzy down for free, and it's a 1 versus 1. Che with the Julies, Henny with the Glock, going for the elevated angle, but gives away that he was maybe attempting it. Now Henny just trying to step forward, doesn't realise that Che is still up close, and he rips his head off with the Julies. 2 pistols, definitely better than 1.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that is Che Jesus for all of you at home. What a double kill and what a hold that was. The double pushing towards the Ram, Zevi and VSM with the first 2 kills. And still Imperial were able to make a round out of this one. So impressed by Henny that he was able to read into that flanking towards T-spawn, but Che still holds strong with the dual Berettas. No bomb plant for Imperial, but they still go for the first buy regardless. And this could be something to actually catch Fluxo off guard here.
Yeah, this is still a little bit of a dangerous round. You're expecting pistols, right? But all of a sudden, you see a Galil in there, you see a MAC-10. Now, this should give it away. Once you see that MAC-10, you know what's happening. So,
yep,
you will be ready for at least a hit. And I mean, it's a fantastic A lane from Fluxo right now. They're ready for this A play, but the flashes are good. Space is going to be taken here by the T's, but Vinny's life taken away with that opening kill.
Oh. No way, gonna get really aggressive ahead of the util, but PK was ready for a decency with a good refrag. Kills going left, right, and center, but the majority of them going in favor of the CT side, and Henny left in another pretty much unwinnable clutch this time, though. Low on HP, MP7 and the pistol in hand, and Zevi's gonna take him down. That was great proactivity from Fluxo on the CT side. Even though they might have been ready for an eco here, might have been expecting it, I actually think they read into the buy round, because you don't call that type of a double under push if you're expecting an eco on the other side. They cleared out the entire B-bomb side. Yes, Phelps heard all the information, but Imperial had no choice. The moment that Phelps goes down, or the moment that Phelps actually gives away his position with the MAC-10, and he doesn't get a kill, Fluxo, no, there's nothing happening in towards the B-bomb side. They can just lean towards A. They had the majority of the util on their side as well to slow down that take, and the bomb was dropped in T-spawn really deep for Imperial, so they had to waste a lot of time to go back and get that. So a lot of things actually just going against Imperial in that previous round, and really well played one by the CTs, putting them in a great position to potentially get a third here, Jack, and get a perfect swift start on the defensive side of things. And if you're Imperial right now, I mean, you have all the experience in the world, so you're staying calm. It doesn't matter that the start is good for the CTs. But considering that you're just one map away from losing that grand final, there will be a bit more pressure on the line in a game like this one.
For sure, you're going to be just a little bit nervous, especially if you struggle to, you know, get going early. Fluxo having no issues with that. 3-0, Imperial They'd love to get this buy round under their belt if they can, but we were speaking about this map, Ted. This map has been great for them so far.
Oh.
A little bit of a failed Molotov, but I mean, he still
actually
makes it
enabled
work.
him to get that kill. If he lands the Molotov decent, he doesn't go for the peak, and VSM doesn't get the kill. So this is a perfect example of how things could go horribly right for you.
A little happy accident in
Yeah.
round 3. Round 4, I'll be hoping less accidents. Oh,
wow.
but that is a mistake. Peeking towards top middle,
Yo,
3
that's it.
players.
Yeah,
Looking back.
I'm not sure if this is bravery or stupidity there. That was this Zephy was just he had a lot of belief in his capabilities to go for a peak like that. Especially after seeing, I think, 2 people at least on his initial peak. He spotted 2 people. There was no flash for him to go for that peak. He just peeked into it, thinking that there's not gonna be an AVP on the other side to punish him. And it wasn't the op to actually get the kill, it was one of the rifles. Che gonna get proactive now towards the B-bomb side. This is an awful angle that Phelps is holding though. Ready to punish the aggression. Already looking quite solid for the T's here in their first buy round. But if you're Fluxo, I mean, you spotted Phelps just holding in towards TV. You can just call an A stack right now and save if they go B. This is not exactly what they've gone for. Luca Ozzy's went back towards B, but you still have PKO and VSM. Problem is, they'll have to go huge, both of them.
Yeah, and Luca Ozzy's the man with all the utils, so when this execute reign's over, they'd love to have him there to help defend, but he's not going to be anywhere near. VSM claims 1, PKL does fall, and now VSM is in a little bit of trouble. He's been spotted out. It was actually Phelps to collect that kill, not Vinny. And Imperial will collect the round. So Fluxo, yeah, I mean, if they call the gamble stack towards A, there's definitely an opportunity. I mean, Luca Ozzy can smoke ramp Molly Palace or vice versa. And there's definitely an opportunity. Imperial have to take a risk if they want to go through it. Luca Ozzy's now just going to be trying to hang on to this rifle. Phelps is going to be walking him down though. So if he's not careful, he could fall. Not looking the right way as of right now. It all does really come down to timing. He spotted him out. Oh, but it's so messy. Won't net him the kill. Phelps survives on 7 HP and takes everything away from Fluxo.
That's a big issue now. You have 2 rifles going forward for Fluxo and you don't really have a choice. You have to invest into this round, so it's not going to be pretty. We might see some aggression once again from the CT side. It's just Zevi and VSM that have enough finances to justify a buy, and there's the replay. Once again, Zevi, a lot of confidence going for that peak, but comes out as a little bit silly in that situation. And it's a pretty similar story to what we saw on Nuke. Imperial getting the first couple rounds on the map pick of their opponents, and then as soon as we get into the first buy, then the team that actually picked into the map starts activating, and Che is in a whole lot of trouble. That's Phelps with the bomb going in through the smoke with the flash. Of course, he's not alone, but this is still the bomb in the control of the CTs, and Luke Ozzy's picked up a rifle, and this is big issues. This round is falling apart for Imperial, and I say falling apart, it's already down in ashes. It wasn't the bomb, actually. Sorry. I don't know what I spotted there. Henny has the bomb on his back, but it's still a 1 versus 3 that he needs to clutch up.
Yeah, and I mean, they've seen him. They know where he is. They know that he does have the bomb. Smoke onto the site. Luca Ozzy hasn't heard the tap. And he's just buying time right now. The short walk is going to happen. They're not going to see anything, though, as Henny's going to put that bomb down. Just make sure that he's not tapping it. And they need to get a whole lot closer to this AWP. Need to make sure that they trade him out. Oh, but he's actually just found a perfect gap to work with. Around scope hasn't been heard yet, so this will be a surprise as soon as he's spotted out. It's the first shot. Oh, but he will not get away. Zevi makes sure of it. Defuse pulled off with ease. Fluxo, they snatched that one away from Imperial, and you can thank the absolute monstrous play that Luca Ozzy has went for here. Zevi comes helping out. That's a nice kill to find. Phelps was meant to have some kind of support, but he's never expecting Luca Ozzy to jump down. Falls, and then Vinny, I mean, tries his best to get a refrag, but that's just the form that Luca Ozzy's in right now.
Yeah, those are just the situations that Fluxo's individuals are going to be able to bail themselves out of, right? The fact that they've been playing so well this entire tournament, individually, I mean, I don't want to use the term ego peak, but we're going to see a whole lot of that in a game of Fluxo right now, and you can't really fault them. they've been finding so much success. So individually, you know they're going to be able to pass the test most of the time. Even a team like Imperial that has so much firepower and players like Phelps, No Way, Decenty, Henny as well, who's been able to wake himself up massively in the last couple maps that the team has played in the tournament. You're still going to get tested by the sheer amount of firepower on people like Luca Ozzy and Che. Of course, though, even though they were able to pick up the previous round, Fluxo were not able to reset that T-side economy, but Imperial walking into a potential B-pop, and that's perfect for Fluxo. If Che just holds on, he just needs one kill. He still has a rifle up close to support him.
One kill would be perfect, and that's all he gets. Luca Ozzy getting out onto the site now. Oh, takes that flashbang in the face.
Haven't seen him.
Yeah, no idea he's here, but surely they're going to clear him out. Never mind, he gets the element of surprise. He gets two, looking for a third. Luca Ozzy tagged through the box, but it's not enough to stop him right now, and it's not enough for Henny to get out on the site alone. Phelps, he's the man on the lurk. He hasn't been seen just yet, but they're taking every necessary precaution, and Henny falls. Phelps, the last man standing. And a save is the best option right now. That's all he can really hope for. That has fallen apart. Lovely aggression from Fluxo. And Imperial, Ted, they are struggling on their best map.
Yeah, minimal requirement covered there from Che, right? Just getting one kill out of that situation left Luca Ozzy with enough time to get into position, but how crisp he is on getting some of those kills. We're gonna see it on the replay as well. There's Che with his one, but look at Luca Ozzy. Insta headshot on the first one, insta headshot on the second. If he gets a clean line of sight onto the Oprah, I think he takes this one as well. That's Luca Ozzy just making it look so easy. And, you know, both players were not looking at him. Both players didn't even have guns out. But it's the fact that he's getting those kills so cleanly, right? Even if they have guns out in those situations, he still instantly destroys them. Looking at the way that he gets those kills. And that's scary. That's Fluxo up to 5 now. No bomb plan means that Imperial needs to go for another force. And it's going to be consisting of 3 pistols. Henny's actually on the Glock saving up money for an AVP, and the next time they have a buy round, and Zevi's already landed attack on one of the rifles.
Oh, that HE, very unfortunate not to take anybody down. That molly will do a little bit of damage and actually nets him that kill. VSM helping out from default. Gonna be mollied off. Oh, it's a great flash there to set up Henny for success.
Got it.
Yeah, Zevi. A little bit more damage, and I mean, the damage is being done, but they're just not finding the kills. But now they are. Vinny trying to save the day. He was the highest HP out of the lot of them. He does have an AK to work with, and a 1 versus 3, now a 1 versus 2. A very doable 1 versus 2. Well, Fluxo, they're going to play this one together. Look at them doubled up in con here. Just making sure that Vinny doesn't come from mid. Making sure that he can't get back towards B. And Fluxo are just playing this one with patience.
Yeah, just not moving, not giving him any chances. PKO actually made a step. That was unintentional. And thankfully, Vinny is too far away to actually hear that. But now they've made their decision. They're going to commit to that A play. And this is the best decision ever. Vinny, the IGL of the team, has pulled off so many great clutches in the tournament so far. But PKL says no. From one leader to another. Ope saved up. Fluxo up to 6 rounds. Imperial tried to bring up the pace in that previous round, but it just didn't work out.
Doesn't work out at all. There's the molly. Phelps is extremely low. They did so much damage to the ramp players before anything even happened really towards A. Just a great hold from Fluxo. And I wonder, is it going to be, I was just about to say, I wonder, is it going to be tack time for Imperial? 6-1 down. A map down. This is your pick. And your T side yet to really make a mark. Make a dent.
Running out of gas in the tank right now are Imperial. It's still salvageable. You can still make this one doable. It's not over. But the signs are there. Money on the CT side is not great. You still have the chance to potentially reset Fluxo and put them in a pretty, well, not maybe fully reset them because of VSM and Zevi, but put them in a pretty awkward financial situation. Is the right way to put it. But this is where Imperial needs someone to help them out. This is where they need one of their players to step it up. Just 1 round to start things off here. Because Fluxo, they've looked incredible star to stop. PKL once again going aggressive, and he's going to be able to find yet another opening with the help of Sevi. And PKL actually gets a chance to get his kill, but Phelps is there with the shutdown. At least the 1-for-1. Issue is Phelps is all alone towards middle, and he's going to take a massive chance fading that smoke.
Oh, he's going to be spotted. No way. Dropped by Zevi in the meantime as well. Zevi looking for one more. Oh, the double scope nearly cost him his life, but he has the information. The flick going to be off the mark, but the USP will not be. Henny's low HP, but he still has the op. So that could really change the dynamic of absolutely everything. He's going to try and get this bomb down. A HE would be lovely to get him off it, but he secures the plant and now slowly backs away towards the ramp. Is he expecting the flank? Yeah, Lucozzi's playing this one with so much patience right now. Oh, but he's made the jump, and well, legs seen from Henny. Such a difficult shot for him to hit, and he was never going to connect on it. Fluxo,
yeah, this is
they
crazy.
clean it up.
Absolutely crazy from Lucozzi. Even if Henny connects on that shot, there is such a massive chance that he just gets the leg shot, right? Lucozzi is full on HP. He plays it so well. There's the replay. Opening kill by Zevi, just breaking, lifting the smoke, and even with Phelps' work being done, he felt pressured to make a decision. Zevi's been playing another great map of CS. Even though in a lot of those rounds, he actually has been doing the damage but not getting the kills. The damage that he's doing is so impactful. And another nice try from Henny, once again anticipating the flank from T-Spawn, but not making the best out of the situation. At this point, Imperial just have the money to keep on going for buys as long as they get the bomb plans, but there's going to be no big green for Henny. And now it's getting desperate. Now you desperately need something to go your way right now.
Zevi with another entry. Vinny down. Henny's going to be mollied. Not actually mollied out, though. So he can't just stick around. Yeah, that is the bomb. And oh, is it going to go down? No. He wrangles in that AK to make sure he controls that spray to find the headshot. And Imperial, they've got themselves a man advantage. They've got themselves mid control. But just for now, Zevi with that smoke, does he go towards the window? There's a player being boosted. That's just Phelps to try and spot anyone in there. Decenty has found a gap over towards B. Oh, and Che doesn't realise. Che goes down. Imperial now can just hightail it out with all the control on that site. And Phelps really could inflict some pain to Fluxo here if they're not careful. There's one kill. Can he take the op out of the hands of Zevi as well? Backs away towards default. And I mean, Imperial, they want to do the damage to the economy. Look at them all running, trying to assist Phelps where it's needed.
Putting a pause to it, Zevi. He's heard the steps of the player in towards stairs. And I'm not sure if you're Imperial, if you really want to send the entire squad on the hunt right now. I mean, money is not great for the T's. And even though we're towards the end portions of this half, you still don't want to be left with no money in some of the last rounds. Zevi should be going down any moment now, and yeah, Phelps gets that kill. This is big. AVP out of the hands. Zevi still has enough money to justify buying it once again, but holding on to that AVP in the previous round would have meant that he could have dropped 2 M4s to his teammates, so that's going to put a massive dent into the economy once again. An opening kill from Zevi in towards mid. This is the kill that makes all the difference, right? That was such a scrappy fight between Henny and Lucozzi, and if Lucozzi wins that, that's the bomb being dropped in towards top middle when it's a man advantage. It's a 2-man advantage, actually, for the side of Fluxo, so a completely different round, but now look at them. No money left, and this is Imperial's way back into this half. This is Imperial's way back into this map.
A failed molly as well towards the boxes, really. And well, Zevi, he's been perfect on that AWP towards middle. He is having a great game right now. 14-6 on the op. And he's giving Fluxo every single chance here. Phelps, make sure that he does not miss that opportunity to get us back into a fair fight. VSM up close though. MP7, Phelps is going to walk through jungle. Oh, this could be awkward if he continues to go. He could find that AWP for free, and well, actually only drops PKL, so the better of the two to fall. Zevi's still alive as the T's begin to sprint up short. Che still waiting, opportunity to peek out, but no way, and Henny shut him down. Zevi seized it, peek from Henny. That's the bomb. 45 seconds, Zevi looking for another one, and he's connected on it. Zevi 3 kills in the round. He's got it down into a 2v1 for a side. Decenty now has to go massive in the clutch, but they're walking around on him. He's reading into this completely. He knows exactly what's happening, but Zevi again, he's got a 4k. He's got Fluxo there 8th, and with very limited options that Fluxo had in that round. They had mostly SMGs. It was the op or nothing really in that round, and the op got them everything.
Oh my goodness gracious. And this is just a round of misfortunes and a lot of wrong things happening for Imperial, right? First, the failed Molotov in towards window that they don't realize. Then the fact that Henny goes back with the bomb to actually challenge the AVP of Zevi. This is one that I didn't really get in the moment. And I feel like Henny's he's gonna regret going for that fight right now. He could have just planted the bomb there, right? He could have just committed to the bomb side. They get the kill onto Che. They've heard the AVP scoping. They knew he was towards window, so he probably is in towards kitchen. Henny crosses and just goes back for the kill. And this is the big issue here, right? You can understand why he thinks that he's got the advantage going for this fight, because the Oper is probably holding the right-hand side and not anticipating Henny to peek from the left. But if Henny goes down, the round is over, and that's essentially what happens. Massive from Zevi, 17 and 6 on that AVP, and Fluxo still away around that they shouldn't have, and now domination is in the conversation once again, but Henny will finally punish his opposing number on the CT side. Zevi goes for that top con peak once again, and once again it doesn't work out for him.
Yeah, I mean, you need to stop him, right? You're seeing how much impact an op can have on Mirage. When an op is playing lights out on the CT side, it's so difficult. It is so difficult to get into any bomb site, get any control over towards middle. And Zevi has been the difference maker in this game so far. But he's out of this round, and Fluxo are going to have to rely on their stars, really, who haven't had to do that much because Zevi's been so perfect.
Yeah. This is the make or break, though. Fluxo still not in the best financial position. And the difference between an 8-4 half that Imperial can potentially work with on the back of winning the pistol round in the second half and getting 9 or 10 rounds on the CT side is massive. And as of right now, VSM's actually all alone. They've gambled B, and now they will realize they were wrong all that time. The nade is going to do a whole lot of damage, but VSM needs at least 1 kill and then to stay alive and play the retake if he wants to enable his team to go for this round. He's going to get mollied out of position. This should be the safe call straight up for Fluxo, and it is.
Guessed wrong there, unfortunately. So you will give away 3 to Imperial. You don't really mind doing that, though. I mean, you're in a good position. Yeah, okay, you guessed wrong. No point risking it. You know, you still have a great opportunity if you save these rifles, especially that you've picked up the AWP. And 1 kill is enough here. Henny on the boost. Just ready. Zevi down. But Zevi at least has this big green to work with in the final round of the half. Imperial have everybody saving on the other side as well. Can Imperial get 4? But even 4 rounds, Ted, that's nothing to be celebrated, right? This is a map that you have dominated on. This is a map that you've looked so perfect on in all competitions. And Fluxo realise they have the best chance to 9-3 this, to put Imperial under so much pressure. And if you're looking at a 9-3 scoreline, Ted, that's a pistol round and a buy round away from winning the series and the event with it.
I would even go as far as saying it's just a pistol round away from winning, because you don't see too many situations like those get, I guess, wasted. It is Imperial on the other side, and if you had to find the equivalent, they are kind of like the FaZe clan of comebacks of the tier 1.52 scene in South America, right? I mean, they are the team that can come back in almost every single game if you don't finish them off. And Nuke was a great example, but this one could be looking really dangerous if Fluxo get 9 and then a pistol round here. This round is a must for Imperial, and almost all of them until the end of this map if they want to take us to a third. Zevi once again looking for an early opening. Decent is on the other side of this. VSM's called a perfect timing here. Decenty should be able to spot him out though, and VSM goes down. Decenty heard the second player back off there, so this is a little bit of bonus information. Not sure if he realized it was the AVP.
Just a little bit awkward there. I mean, if Decenty is anyway not towards the left side of Palace, or even a second later, VSM sees him and has probably the advantage to take him down. Zevi still wants to play up close here. That's a man that's full of confidence right now. Just towards the ramp, scoped in, and he's going to get his opportunity now to prove that he is a dominant force once again. As Imperial,
oh, that's such an awful boost.
Oh, Phelps, wow. He's down and out. The rotations are going to be back over towards A, and Zevi locked, loaded, ready to go. Here comes the jiggle, and he connects on the first. Smoke down. Vinny's going to try and run him down. The no-scope's not going to hit. PKL falls in the meantime as well. Che needs to get his hands on a rifle and get on over to help Luca Ozzy. Henny's going to be holding, misses the shot. Luca Ozzy looking for two, but it's just the one. Che, he has an AK. He's not saving, and he gets a whole lot closer. But Vinny already up close. He's hearing him come every step of the way. Che should go down for nothing, and he does. Imperial at least claw it back to 4, but is 4 going to be enough?
Another big multi-kill by Decenty in Vinny in that scenario. Fluxo just played the perfect round, right? That boost, by the way, this is such a crazy gimmick to throw into the final round of the first half. It's not a boost that you see too often. It's yeah, it's a pretty unique way to get the kill. So quite normal that Phelps wasn't ready for it. They get that kill. As soon as they get the kill on Phelps, they knew what was going on. Zevi follows up with a great shot, and this is the difference maker. If Zevi gets one more, or if Vinny loses that initial fight against the jungle player who is holding for the Palace play, then Zevi is in a position to get at least one more or even 2 more kills, and the round is pretty much over. But Imperial get 4 nonetheless. Fluxo still in a good position to make this one fairly comfortable if they get that pistol round. Still really important. And Phelps is going to challenge.
Oh, he's been a pistol demon so far this event, Phelps. Vinny seeing the smokes rain over. The flash needs to go, but Phelps, it was too late. Vinny under a lot of pressure right now, and he eventually will fall. Fluxo have the sight. Is there even a way back into this pistol right now for Imperial? You need to find the kills, and you need to find them quickly. They think it's going to come in the way of a boost. There's no way he gets on top of bricks to try and find something. You have a kit, but there's just so many angles that you need to clear out. There's so many pistols you need to get past, but you're not getting past any at all. No way gets one, but Decenty now left completely alone, and PKL will drop him. Luca Ozzy with a hat-trick on that pistol round. Fluxo, they will get on to 9, and Imperial's money put in the bin from the get-go. This is Fluxo's chance to get closer and closer to maybe taking their first series away from Imperial in a very long time.
They were so quick, by the way. The fact that they shifted their way so close in towards the B apartments, they just got ahead of the flash, right? Phelps goes for the peek. He's dead before the flash even gets thrown in to support him. What a big play by Fluxo. It's Fuiko coming up for Imperial when it's a straight up B stack, but it's not the right stack. It's not the right gamble. Fluxo any moment now will realize that A is completely empty. That's going to be Fluxo moving into double digits on the T side of Mirage here. Pressure starting to come in. That's Fluxo looking like a team that's ready to win the tournament without dropping a single map. And 2-0ing Imperial in the grand final, that would mean a whole lot to those players. That would essentially mean that Fluxo, I mean, in that short context, I know that they've lost a lot to Imperial recently, but in that short context, for the first time, you can tell Phelps that you've won the breakup.
It's going to be sweet as well. You know, the last time they played in the final, the CBCS Invitational, it was a best of 5 that they came up short in. They lost every single map. PKL loses his life here. And actually, you're collecting a few kills. You've given away an AK now to Phelps. You've lost another AK. That's a little bit silly going on the hunt there. You let Imperial save 1 AK, but you have really hurt your money here.
I think that's the bigger issue, right? It's not even that they hold on to the rifle, but they thought that Imperial just forced in stack B, and they've put a massive dent in their own economy like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, once you see the USPs, though, surely you go, okay, right, let's run away. Let's just run away. But they continue to go for fights. Very, very silly there from Fluxo. BKL out towards middle. The flash goes high. He's going to be able to dodge that one. The nade was a perfect distraction. And No Way collects the opening kill. Zevi, if he's good with the spam, he might be able to line up that frag. But he's waiting to see if the aggression from short is going to come in. Luca, Ozzy and Zevi combine for a kill apiece. And he's going to be molly back, forced out a window. Fluxo are gaining a lot of control in this round, but Decenty catches the bomb with the nade in his hand. Zevi, once again though, the trades, they're perfect.
Oh, and look at the space. Che has found an incredible timing in towards the bomb side. He's gonna get a free shot at getting Henny killed, and he doesn't finish the job, but he tags him down enough. And oh, I think VSM spotted Vinny. They have all the information in the world. They know that one of the players was in towards CT and he's low on HP, and they know the other one was towards the B bomb side, but Vinny drops the bomb, and this is a big kill. VSM will be able to pick that one up, but as of right now, Jay can't really help him out. VSM needs to walk back, and this is such an awkward round. 35 seconds, and they're both just waiting and hoping that the CTs make a move, but they aren't. And with the time running low, VSM might have to get into that fight. He's gonna have to wait for Che. Che is the one that needs to get proactive right now instead of VSM. That was the kill that makes the difference. But Henny, low on HP, in a great position. He dropped the bomb. There's only 20 seconds. Che needs to sprint, pick that bomb up, and fall back and plant it on the A bomb side. And Henny's already repositioned in towards jungle.
Oh, he's going to walk towards CT as well. Now, does Che read into this? Doesn't matter. He's going to back up safely. Play towards the firebox here, tucked. But Henny clears this out every day of the week, surely. Especially with where the plant is. But maybe he thinks he made his way towards ramp. It's going to be time of the essence. Step being made. Henny doesn't have a kit, remember. He's going to tap the bomb. He's off it here. Che is not peeking just yet. He does not take the bait. Henny makes a step and Che does not need to move. He's won this one by default if he just plays the time, and Henny off it. Che has his exit as well. Perfectly played. Che in the clutch is a dangerous man, and he saved the day for Fluxo.
What a clutch. We mentioned Che going into this game. He's been the one to open up the T sides for success for Fluxo, but not in terms of opening up the round and getting the opening kills. In terms of closing them out. Che on the clutch, on the T side, post plants. He's just such an awkward player to be up against. It's just awful. And this round was supposed to be so much better for Imperial on the back of that initial aggression towards middle, but great refrags all over the place. And of course it had to be Che in the clutch. A 1 versus 1 play to perfection, toying with Henny's nerves. All the experience in the world, but it didn't play up to his advantage. Back to the next round we go though, and Imperial, they throw in a Hail Mary investment into this one. It's a 1-for-1 to start us off, with straight up A play from Fluxo, but they know there's a player in towards Palace.
Yeah, Zevi's going to go looking for him. Decently up close with that AK though, does a lot of damage. Oh, his Phelps going to be seen here. VSM, oh, spams him down perfectly with the Mac 10. Luca Ozzy needs to keep an eye out on Palace here, and he's going to be given that fight. Free frag for him. Vinny trying to lurk around in that smoke, but everybody's going to be found out. And Fluxo move on to 12. They've got 8 map, series, and tournament points. And Imperial, is there anything they can hope for here? This was meant to be the given. This was meant to be the map that they were comfortable on, and they could guarantee, well, I can guarantee you they are going to be hurting. They are flustered, they are panicked, and they need a miracle to stay alive in this event.
Yeah, at least they have the buy, at least they have the guns, but this is 8 consecutive rounds. Fluxo are just in form. Imperial were supposed to be the team to stop them and deny them from getting up to that trophy. But it's been such a genius run from Fluxo in this tournament. Zevi, even getting up close with the bomb in towards Connector. I think he realized that he doesn't want to be the one to actually give that specific kill and that specific item away. So, deciding to fall back. Imperial just playing from the back right now, though. No one wants to risk being the one to go down first in a round like this. And it's going to be the case for the next 8 in a row if Imperial start winning. They need to triple their rounds just to force overtime. A win in regulation, not even a possibility. And Phelps is going to withstand the first test, passes it with flying colors.
But fails at the second. falls during the second hurdle. Zevi creeps his way up ladder. Decenty is down, and Imperial on the back foot again. It's going to be a beast play here. Vinny, the IGL, needs to step up. Needs to go absolutely massive here from bench. But Fluxo continue just to take their time. Imperial are not rotating right now. They don't have any reason to. They don't have any information on where the hit is coming from. No Way has seen nothing. The same with Henny and Vinny. Might be feeling the pressure, knows that they're waiting for something, but he still hasn't seen anything at all. But the longer the time ticks, the more Vinny has an opportunity to snatch this one away. And Fluxo now know that he's here. He gets away towards the back of the site, needs to just try and take him off the bomb if he can. Bomb is going to be tapped. Vinny goes down. Bomb will be planted. No Way gets a little bit closer, trying to save the day once again. But it falls onto the shoulders of Henny. Needs to tap into that experience. A 1 versus 2 from the Opper. But they move away. They get off the site. Henny now sees one, and he's been spotted towards the door. The nade in. Doesn't have a kit. Needs to go quickly. Still needs to find the frags, but he's just not been given anything at all. The missed shot cost him his life and the tournament with it. Fluxo are perfect, and they are your first Oriez Regional Series 1 Latin America champions.
Absolutely genius performance from Fluxo, Jack. Absolutely flawless from round 1 of the first map in the group stage to the final one against Imperial in the grand finals. Not dropping a single map, going into just 1 overtime, and that was in map 1 of this series on Nuke, and a map on which they still had a 12-9 lead. We haven't had a lot of chances to actually say that, especially in this region. But that was clean from Fluxo. The only 2 halves in which they were actually on the losing end, at the end of which they were on the losing end in the entire tournament, were in their semi-final game. Every single other time, Fluxo has been either moving round for round, leveled up with their opponents, or in the lead. This, for sure, it doesn't overshadow the fact that Imperial have been one of the most successful teams in the region so far this year. Qualifying for Pro League, qualifying for the RMR, being at the close qualifier for Dallas as well. Imperial have been winning most of their games and the majority of their important best of 3s with ease. But this one, well, this one is a pretty pleasant change here for Fluxo, and one that they will remember for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, their first tournament victory with Che in the lineup, their first victory in an event since the CCT South America Series 10. And I mean, congratulations to them. They did it in spectacular fashion. There's not many teams that are going to go through any event without dropping a single map, but they've done it. They wanted to get it over and done with quickly. Beating Flamingo in the first game, beat 9Z, beat Solid, and then, of course, Sharks and Imperial yesterday and today. And, you know, they're not easy teams to beat. There's a lot of tough sides in there, and it just makes it all the more impressive, right? That they don't drop a map. They don't even look that really bothered. It was just this game today, you know, that they were under the most pressure. Imperial, though, we have to say they didn't live up to the expectations, especially on their own map pick, but I don't want to take anything away from this Fluxo performance. You know, they were a dark horse coming into this tournament. They definitely weren't the favourites by any means at all, but they've definitely turned some heads and put a lot of teams on notice after this.
Yeah, absolutely. A team that has been playing well in best of ones, hasn't really been able to deliver in really important best of 3s, though, even though they've won the majority of the ones that they've played so far. But yeah, I mean, we compare them to all of the others. We compare them to Sharks, to Bestia, to 9Z. All of those teams have qualified for something, right? All of those teams have been able to make something out of the first couple months in their good form in the South American region. Fluxo was the only team that has been playing well, but every single time on the final hurdle, they've been failing. Well, not this time. They've won $25,000 from the prize pool, and they've won a lot of rest points for the leaderboard, which takes them one step closer to potentially qualifying for the big LAN event that we're going to have later on this year. And, you know, this is a massive step in the right direction for this lineup, and it's a big victory to take beating first Sharks, which is the ex-team of Che, and now beating Imperial, which was, let's not lie to ourselves, the highest seed and the favorites to win that entire tournament from day one.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. You know, they definitely put a lot of teams on notice. I mean, I'm in shock, to be honest, with how good they were, how well they played. Obviously the addition of Che has really kind of helped these guys. I think they are definitely going to be, you know, knocking on the door and challenging teams like Imperial as we look towards the future. You know, they're definitely one of the top teams in the region now. I don't think anybody can really deny that. But they just need to make sure that they stay consistent, they keep working hard, and they continue to kind of push through and push forward. As for Imperial, you know, it sucks, of course, always to lose a final, but it's definitely not the last that we've seen of these guys, and I'm looking forward to covering them in the next few events to come. But Ted, I believe that is all that we do have time for today. The grand final, the whole event, it was a massive success, and it is finished up today. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us at home. It wouldn't be possible without the viewership, of course. We'd like to thank the production over at Relog. Always a smoothly ran event. We'd like to thank every single team for participating, and of course our partners as well. Ted, mate, thank you for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure to cast. Exner and Fi, of course, the other two casters who did fantastic work throughout the event. I'd like to thank them as well. And yeah, would hope we see you guys for the next event. Anything you want to say, Ted, before we close off?
I was gonna throw in a wild Quixote in there, but I realized that we've had a lot of Brazilian teams, and maybe not everyone's gonna be happy with this. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy event. Congratulations to Fluxo, and I'm really looking forward to the next one, because the last couple weeks have been crazy. A lot of messed up sleeping schedules, a lot of messed up games, a lot of chaos. But in the end of the day, a lot of high quality CS and a lot of nice emotions.
Definitely weren't messing up my sleep schedule for it, I can tell you that much, and I'll be doing it again for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'd like to thank you guys for joining us. Congratulations to Fluxo, the champions. Commiserations, of course, to Imperial. We hope to see you for the next Oriez Regional Series, but until then, take care and good night.
I have a very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move, one push. One touch. One love. One click. One expert.